Hi, everybody. My name is Phyllis Y. Whitley. If you have been spiritually victimized and traumatized, welcome to Spiritology Live, where I bring my #1 Amazon book to life. Yes, each episode is a raw, spiritual, metaphysical, holistic space of consciousness for self-healing as you learn how to break your religious shackles so you can master and manifest your promised land within. Let's go. Yes, recently I just did a podcast dealing with your passport, how to prepare it. I went over a lot of the past, a lot of the future, and I referenced it to because it's about time travel. It was part 3, and I referenced it from looking at certain movies. I recommend y'all do. You look at those movies, Back to the Future, Inception, and Frequency. And it's really something that a lot of people say, oh, Miss P, do you really have to talk about the past? You really have to talk about it. You are your sum total of your past. Everything that was done to you, everything that you feel was done to you, and everything that you've done to somebody is who you are. This is why spiritual darkness, whatever you want to call the enemy, I don't want to stop here and say the devil with red horns. I'll say, according to my book, Spiritology, this is why religious shackles, they love to attack the children. Because when you messed up as a child, when they can get you in them vulnerable years, even as a teenager, where you really don't know who you are, they literally will mess you up. So that's why you have to be very careful as a parent on who is in your children's 5 senses. If you don't get it, it's in my book. Because by the time they grown, why do you think they go to psychiatrists and spend much money? Especially actors and stuff, they have to release that. They have to release that junk. And a lot of people can't go but so far. You ever see people who have a one-hit wonder? They do a big album or a big record, back in the days, or I don't know what they say it now. They got whatever they got, the artist is like, oh my God, that hit was beautiful. They don't do anymore. Some people just can't move forward. Believe me, it's something stopping them. And it doesn't mean that, I teach you how to get your promised land, but your promised land don't have to be like Mrs. and Mrs. Jones. You don't have to get your neighbor promised land. You don't have to have that. God said, I should give you the desires of your heart. He didn't say the desires of your neighbor, your mother, your father. He didn't say that. He starts to give you the desires of your heart. And let me tell you something, whether it's good or bad. So people say, why is this happening to me? Why, Lord, I can't have her husband? Did I have to go through the abuse? God is not going to come down and lock the door. When your abuser's knocking at your door, you don't let him in. Men, if you got a woman who is very verbally abusive and she does not lift you up as a man, you can't go get mad at God if you still allow this person to be a part of your life, and vice versa. You understand? What are we talking about today? Well, we are talking about when you're around people who belittle everything that you do, who belittle everything about you. And normally and usually this is family members. And I have people say, oh, it's just like a knife dagging in my back or dagging in my heart, when it can be your friend. You heard your friend talk about you, your so-called best friend. And people just like my clients will come back and say, I just can't, just the words that they say. That's why I got that book, Virology. Because words will harm you. It was based on sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never harm me. But that's not true. It will definitely. Words cause war. Words cause killing. One of the baddest words when you're an employee and they say you fired. How many people went back to the company and said, I got some revenge for you, and they did a Rambo? It's not funny, but it's real. What I tell my clients, let me tell you something. You have to look at the person, the source that is belittling you. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What's the name of your life play? Specialization. Wait, Miss P. You blowing my mind. You just said belittling me, blah, blah, blah. And then you talking about my life play. Yes, I am. Because you have to look at their life play. You see the trick? Method to my goodness. You have to look at the source that's coming to you and saying these things, whether it's a coworker, family member, brother, sister, whatever, aunt, uncle, even your mother and your father. You have to look at it. Remember I said go in your past, and some of y'all can revise it, but some of y'all have to look at it and say, what can I learn here? What's really going on? Remember something. Hurt people hurt people. So people have said to me, I don't like the way you did this and I said, you know what? You met me at a point in my life where I was still didn't know how to control the hurt that I went through. Some people, they literally, maybe I was looking at something in my past and then I put up a war. We all go through that. But you have to realize something. When you are dealing with someone and every time you go to them with your dreams and your goals, they break it. It's like they have a bat. Pow, pow. Why you want to do that? Pow, pow. You understand what I'm saying? These people can be your family members, friends, co-workers, or even a stranger. Yeah. Sometimes you meet a stranger and they say there's one word and you are no good. So you understand what I'm saying. Find out what kind of play they have. What do they specialize in? Let's go to Genesis 37:5. And Joseph dreamed a dream and he told it to his brothers. And they hated him yet the more. And if you know your Bible, which some of y'all don't, that is a good book to look at. Let me tell you something. That particular topic of Joseph really show it's a metaphor of what many of you have been through or going through with your family. Speaking too early, telling your dreams, where his dreams come from God. He seen himself as this great God king, and they were going to be bowing down to him. They said, oh, you know what? We just had enough as enough. I mean, really? Some of you that is older, especially if you had a big family or maybe just two of y'all, three of y'all, you might be surprised how a lot of babies of the family is the one that goes back and take care of the parents. Yes, you can look at that. Your mama's favorite child is the one that usually run when the parents get sick. So what I'm saying to you is you have to be careful who you tell your dreams to. You have to look at them and say, let me see what kind of play. Let's see. It's nothing wrong with being critiqued and you having the best friend that's gonna tell you raw stuff. It's not gonna play around, give you a fairy tale. You need somebody in your life that's gonna tell you the truth, nothing but the truth. But you have to also look at that person, because if that person don't have their own life play, why are you going crazy over the broken words that they say to you? The words are broken into pieces, and because they're their words, they never help them. So they don't have a play. They have a corner spot in their home because they literally messed up their whole family. It starts in your own household. If you don't have no brother, no sister, or you're a grown person and you in your home and you are just miserable and you just hate everybody, that's your play. They in the wrong play. They specialize. Are you ready for this? Because I might be pulling some people in here. You might say, I don't trust nobody. That's why I stay to myself. You may have a posse. You may have a group. And all y'all do is belittle each other. You may have a friend who just constantly, brother, sister, every time you say something, why? Your mother may say, do you know what you're talking about? Your father may laugh at you. Get out of here, boy. You're trying to be so and so and so. Your cousin may say, and I had this happen. And remember, I was trying to do real estate. I can't tell you how many people came to me and said, "Oh, I'm going to do real estate. I know how to do real estate." I said, "Go ahead and do it." Years ago, and I got my license. And did they get theirs? No. People will talk you out of your dream. This is in my book, Spirituality. Everything that I literally, if you're new to my podcast, everything that I talk about, everything that I teach is based on that book. The religious seed sectors, they don't have to be in the church. And it can be in the church. How about when you get a word from the Lord? How about somebody prophesied to you and then one of the members see it? And they go up to you and they say, "Oh, you're going to help many souls," or whatever. And then the person come up and say, "I already helped about 50 souls. And, God told me I was going to do this and do that." Yes, it's competition in the church. You can be belittled in the church. People go to church for spiritual healing and they walk out, they run out because they're like, "What? This is spiritual healing?" Listen, the church is a spiritual hospital where people have real spiritual problems. And you know what they do? Their life play is specializing in gossip, criticism, regret. Maybe it's a life play of fairy tales. Maybe they a con. Maybe they just a straight up, everything they say they lie. I have clients now that come to me with a cake, and the cake is done from the inside out. I shouldn't say inside. The cake is pretty, a pretty cake, frosted great. And they want me to bless their, this is so and so and so and so. This is so and so. And they make everything so perfect. And then I'm standing up here saying, why is this person lying? They want me to bless it. I'm not going to belittle them because that's what they manifested. I have to deal with each person totally differently. Just like your kids. Every single one of your kids, those of you who have more than one, have different personalities. You have to consider the source before you get broken anymore by your coworker, your family members, and your so-called friends. Say, what kind of play do they have? You might be surprised that some people specialize in gossip. I said life play because it's all of their life. They don't have nothing going. The first thing I asked them, well, what is this person doing? Did this person retire? That's why when it's certain coaches, and I can speak from a Black woman, that you grow up in, and because of course what we went through in the past, our ancestors, a lot of us don't know how to look at the future and say, hey, I'm going to retire, but I'm not going to retire. It is other coaches that literally they'll retire from their main job, but then they'll go get something else. They won't let their mind go into idle because they want to continue their life play until they exit. And they want to stay out of what's going on out there. So if some of the people who consider the source and they retired or they live on the government funds or they literally is sitting there and they have nothing to do. So they go and join the gossip club. The neighbor that know about everybody sneaking out the window, looking at I used to have neighbors like that. Every time you walk out, they looking. I remember every time a Mason man came to my house, I had one lady, she'd be knocking and knocking. I said, why is this girl knocking? What does she think I'm doing? And I go to the door. I said, can't you see this big truck sitting over here? I'm telling you. You remember Bewitched? And who was it? Agnes or something? Was so nosy. Didn't have nothing to do. I remember telling somebody, they said, oh, can't wait till you, I had some stuff to tell them. And they said, oh, I can't wait to hear it. I said, you know why? Because you don't have no business of yourself. You nosy. If their mind is in idle, they'll have nothing to do. They stop school in their teens. They are over 50, never done anything with their life, and you are upset over that. You got somebody who thought they should be in law school, and they didn't finish. They dropped out. That's fine. They went to specialize in something else. But what happened if they didn't specialize in nothing else? They just walk around I'm gonna do that one day. I'm gonna do that one day. They coming to you. I know I know these people. I bet them. Well, you know why I didn't do this, and you know why I didn't do that, and you know why I do that. I was like, I remember meeting a guy, and he told me years ago. I said, "Why you don't work?" It was a friend of mine's nephew. Well, I mean, you know this, and he was showing me his hand. I said, "Your hand look fine to me." And I mean, I did this. I said, "Really?" My mother told me growing up, McDonald's is open 24/7. I remember telling somebody else, another person, I can't find no job. I can't find a. I said, because this is during a pandemic. A lot of companies grew and expand, and a lot of companies didn't because they didn't pivot. Uber pivot, Amazon pivot. Amazon already had people get ordering online, but it was people who refused to order online, and they got to the position where they had no choice but to order online and see how convenient it was to open your door and your stuff is right there. Amazon do furniture, they do books, they do everything. Anything you need a toe clipper, Q-tips. They got everything. Leggies, pants, sneakers. You have to pivot. People don't want to pivot. This person said, "Oh, there's no job." I said, "Uber." Last time I looked, Uber making good money. Well, you don't understand my car. They want so in my car. They wanted a used car. They'll take used car, but it's a certain year. Well, that means that you need to go upgrade your car. Miss P, everybody can't do. Oh, you can do it if you really want to step there and spend another year with no job. Real estate people. That was the time of the pandemic. You could look at people say, how you gonna make it? How you gonna get onto real estate? You make it. You know how many houses sellers was getting double for their money, some triple. The real estate people, even to this day, because the pandemic still exists, making money. Do y'all understand where I'm coming from and where I'm going? You have to consider the source sitting there. What is their life play? Some people don't want to work. And they will tell you. During the pandemic, I probably made more money than I ever did. The pandemic really helped people online. Online was already there. People was like taking their time while other people was building on YouTube. They was building their Instagram, their TikTok. I'm talking about the people not up there for entertainment purpose, but people was building their stuff. People who knew how to cook would go in their kitchen and start going into YouTube. They didn't sit up there when they lost their job. They went and said, wait a minute, what's going on? People need somebody to get them to and from the hospital. It's people out there that need somebody to Uber driver. You can register with the hospital and help people get to and from the hospital and stuff to their appointments. It is so many jobs that you can go out there and get. It's no such thing. Online work expanded. Even the church didn't know how to pivot. Churches that didn't have like online, didn't have a website, and they wasn't reaching people, they literally don't exist. The brick and mortar stopped. A lot of them panicked. The restaurants panicked. I remember they had somebody in one small state and they closed down a restaurant. That person put on some roller blades and she fixed herself up, the waitresses, and they said, hey, we'll bring your food to you. What do you want? You have to, they created jobs. You have to look at the source. What kind of play again do they have? You understand? Say, what's the name? The next time somebody come and criticize you and tell you, you can't be a realtor. No, you can't do that. You need to look at them and say, what's your life play again? What's the name of it? Oh, I thought so. And you need to learn and choose who you spend your time with. In person, even on the phone. Suppose you got a new boyfriend. Man, suppose you got a new girlfriend. And they just talk down at everything that you do. Look at them and say, well, wait a minute, what is this person? Even if the person don't want to work and you say, listen, I want to marry this woman. I'm a man, I want to marry this woman. She don't have to have a job. But if she don't know how to lift you up with her words, you got to find out if her life play is critical. Because if she real critical, everything you do, she gonna stand behind you. And you're not supposed to do this, and you can't do this and that. She better be a virtuous woman. Because they do have it in Proverbs, a woman who can literally tear everything you have. That's why politicians have to be careful who they marry. That's why you see so many of them fall. I won't name no names, but it was one who fell. His wife was so strong, she kept that name up there. Then it's others who fell. You don't even know. That's it. Out of sight, out of mind. They gone. You have to understand. Well, Miss P, this person is very smart and they did go to school and they still criticizing and whatever. Well, they might have graduated, they might have finished their career, but what happened after you retire? What happened if you're sitting there and you're receiving a government check? This is not saying that anybody receiving a check. You could retire and had the best job. That's why you have to work your mind. Some of you go home to your mother and you go to your father and they don't work no more. They all retired. And guess what? They have nothing to do but gossip about your sisters and your brothers. It's all right with little things that they say. But when they get to the point where they make a strong influence on what you're going to do, be, and have, you got to look and say, well, what's the name of your play? What do they specialize in? It's people. I ran into many of them that just sit up there and say, I got this, I got this, I got that, They don't have anything. They live on fairy tale. Ouch. I know that hurt. I know some of y'all looking and saying, you know what? I let that so-and-so back in the days tell me so-and-so and so. Well, Miss P, how about the teacher who have a job and should know better? Yes, your teacher can break you and make you too. But you got to consider the source. What is she hurt over? Maybe her life is not that glamorous. She's looking at you stereotype. You'll never be nobody. I had a teacher tell me that. I used to love to write short essays. Let's get it straight. And every time I had to write about somebody, I did it. I got deep into it. I had no idea I was preparing for my future as an author. I don't like, that's why to this day my books are not long. I didn't like when I got to college and they said, but you have to have a past 8 page. I said, there's no need to talk about past 8 pages. But I remember my teacher looking at me and saying things about me. You have to be careful, parents, who's in their ear gate. And if their teacher is not saying good things about them, you can get them out that class, or you can talk to them when they come home, and you can replace the bad things with the good things. Other words, you can help your child develop their life play and determine what they're going to specialize in. So the next time somebody come and criticize you, you don't need to go take that test. Why are you doing this? Look at them. And you realize, well, wait a minute. What I'm sitting up here getting mad at you? You never done anything in your life. You see? What do they specialize in? They may be a con. Give me some money and I got planned to do this and do it. Listen, if they ain't got it yet, if they living on somebody, never had their own place, you might as well stop it. I hope this helps somebody. And let me just go on and tell you. Everybody can't see your goals, see your dreams, because they never had one. Or they didn't go after it. Your great aunt or uncle who tell you, you know, I could have been a so-and-so and so-and-so. And they might have almost got there. Well, what happened, Aunt so-and-so? Well, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not laughing at those who had allowed, sickness to come in their life. But that's why you have to take your mind from idle sickness and put it into health. Because there's some people that love, I hate to say it, love their illness. And you said, no, that's so low, Miss P. No, I'm telling you, they don't want to hear nothing about health. I remember telling somebody about holistic health, and they sit back and told me, oh, I used to do this, and I used to eat this way, and I used to eat a vegetarian, I used to do this, and I used to do that. They ain't never helped me. But yet they were sitting up there with probably 20-something medication. And then when it got down to talking about their doctor and their illness, well, I had to go do this and stuff like this. Everybody got to do. Immediately they was trying to take me there. I'm not going to stay for your life play. When somebody started talking that, I said, no, I think I'm going to exit. Don't accept the ticket. Don't buy their ticket for their play. She started, I so. And I don't know what happened to her, but she can barely make it there, make it back. It was all kind of stuff she was talking about. What do? The doctor's there for a reason. And all of those who's listening, you can go back and listen to some of my podcasts about health. You have to have the mindset, the mind frame, the consciousness of health. And you know when you don't, when everything you talk about is, oh, my knee hurt. Oh, my toe hurt. Oh, I seen the commercial yesterday. I think I'm gonna call my doctor about my neck. When you get wrapped up in all the commercials, that's why the commercials are there. They are there to be a part of your play. Advertisement. People advertise and put money into advertisement because they want to be a part of your play. So you got to be careful what you put in your five senses. I said this in my book. You know why? Because you must be careful, because you will find yourself being in their play. I know people who can tell you everything that's going on in the entertainment world. It's good to know and be on top of things. I used to know all of that, but I knew it for a particular reason because I wanted to be able to discuss any topic anybody else wanted to. But when they get to the point and they can tell you the pain that everybody went through, they can describe it. They just entered that person play or took a part of their play and put it to them. And then they especially when it's relationship, if you can go ahead and cry on every moment of the reality show or cast or with people in the entertainment, people that you don't even really know personally, what they went through, you can know of it, but you don't have to become it. When you know all the bad relationships, you can name it. You can tell me every reason why you shouldn't want a relationship, every reason why you shouldn't get married. You pick the wrong person play. Then you wonder why every single one of your relationships are terrible. You're meeting what they had. So let's go ahead and look at what happened. What happened to Joseph? He became the king. He went through a lot. And you know what? He was blessed that they had to come. That dream was fulfilled. It was a phantom and he had to come and bow down to him. He was the king. They left him to die, but God took that mess and made it and blessed it. Could you imagine if Edison gave up on his dream? We wouldn't have no light, and we probably would have light, but it wouldn't be by him. The Wright brothers with the plane, you wouldn't be traveling and going overseas. And let it be told, it was another crew of men who literally had did some type of, made a plane and whatever, and they gave up on it. And then the Wright brothers came. So when you give up on your dream, we're going to talk about that. Somebody else will come and get it. God can go into you and you can turn around and say, I'm not going to do it. And then you wonder why your daughter and your son did it. God said, that's all right. And what happened with George Washington Carver? How many things did he make out of the simple peanut or the sweet potato? Do you understand what I'm kind of saying? Listening to God tell him. God will tell you where you can prosper at. During the pandemic, people became millionaires. It's people getting their own business because they say, I'll never get fired again. I'm going to create my own business. Good things can happen. Don't be in the play where they sit there and they say, I'm just not going to make, no. Find out what they specialize in and keep on moving. Don't stoop to nobody's level. Well, Miss P, you said that, you know what? Our promised land is to help other people. Yes, it is to help other people, but you can reach out. If they don't let you reach down and bring them up, you better run because they'll pull you down. Listen to Martin Luther King, what he said. You can kill the dreamer, but you can't kill the dream. That dream is going to be fulfilled. That plane had to be fulfilled. Edison had to do the lights. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything that Carver seen, it had to come to pass. Somebody going to be used. You know how many black presidents ran? But evidently, Obama said, I can. And he did. So when people come to you and say, well, that was never done before, you can say, no worries. I'll be the first. Remember, ask your source, what do you specialize in? And then they just told you their life play, the name of their life play. Some of their life play is called Good for Nothing. That's in the word. Listen, choose who you spend your time with. Choose who you give your wisdom to. Choose who you listen to. Because you might be listening to somebody who don't have wisdom. Because their life play don't even exist. Thank you for coming into my space. What's new? We're going to put out Wordology. We're going to put out Ask Jaden. And I have coloring books. I have so much. Go to Amazon.com and you will find me there. I also have something that I don't say much. I have t-shirts out there. It's on Amazon. It's on Teespring. I think on Amazon is My Whispers. I'm not too sure. Basically, I do counseling. I still do mentor. Anything that you need to help revise your words, your past, set you up for your future, here I am. Go into my website, phylliswhitley.com, and please go and hit the contact button. And I will contact you within a reasonable amount of time. And remember, and I say this all kind of way, everybody say, if loving yourself is wrong, you don't want to be right. I know I said it last time differently. I'm out.